Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India NewsHour, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour. Big revelation by India's Air Force Chief. India shot down 6 Pakistani aircraft, including 5 Pak fighter jets during Operation Sindoor. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy reacts on Trump-Putin meet, calls for Kyiv's involvement, expresses readiness for a peaceful outcome. Rain batters parts of Delhi and adjoining areas, bringing traffic to snail's pace. Waterlogging reported in several places. Indians across the world celebrate Raksha Bandhan, the sacred bond of siblinghood and love. President Draupadi Murmu and PM Modi celebrate the festival. India's Air Force Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh made a big revelation that India shot down 6 Pakistani aircraft successfully during Operation Sindoor. The downed fleet included 5 fighter jets and a high-value airborne early warning and control system aircraft, commonly known as the Big Bird for its advanced surveillance role. He said S-400 has been a game-changer. The Air Chief was speaking at an event in Bengaluru this morning.
We have at least 5 fighters confirmed kills and 1 large aircraft, which could be either an Elint aircraft or an AWNC aircraft, which was taken on at a distance of about 300 kilometers. This is the actually largest ever recorded surface-to-air kill that we can talk about.
All right, and on this, we've been joined by DD India correspondent Vishal Beristo and also our esteemed guest, retired Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, former DG Inspection and Safety, Indian Air Force. Gentlemen, both of you, a very warm welcome to the broadcast. First to you, Vishal, how significant is this statement coming out of him?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Siddharth. And as you heard, the Air Chief Marshal himself saying that this is the largest air kill recorded ever. So definitely a very big revelation coming out, and definitely a thing to for us to rejoice and be very proud of, because today is Raksha Bandhan, and the armed forces also promising protection to all the civilians of the country, and Operation Sindoor was a big success. This is what the statement means, and it has come at a time when Pakistan was spreading a false narrative against India. So definitely a big relief for all the armed forces personnel as well.
Definitely, Vishal, and you were thoroughly covering Operation Sindoor. I'll come back to you. But to you, sir, big statement again. How do you react to that? This big revelation coming out from Air Force Chief.
This is for me, Siddharth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. See, we've been telling this for months together now, that this was the most decisive 4-day battle that was ever fought in this part of the world. In 4 days, we brought the Pakistanis to knees. And now that the thing is coming out in open, the chief has acknowledged publicly on a platform. So it becomes very, very clear that how our air defense systems not only protected us from the attacks on the 8th and the 9th of May from the drones and the missiles that were launched from Pakistan, but also when we went on for the offensive on the 10th morning, and when we were defending ourselves, we took out a large amount of their air assets. And he mentioned in his speech today that never ever a surface, SCGW, surface to air guided weapon, has taken out a platform at a distance of 300 kilometers. So it now shows that from our own territory, without our aircrafts having to physically cross the border and go across, we can pinpoint the enemy aircrafts and take them out in their territory itself. So this is what the implication is all about. And five fighter jets he is acknowledged. One more he has said. A few aircrafts, to my appreciation and knowledge, have already been confirmed as having been neutralized on ground. Some say 1C-130 and air-to-air refueler at Noran. Some say a few F-16s in Bolari. Some say a few other platforms in Jacobabad and Sakar. So I don't know the exact figures as to how many aircrafts have been lost. An informal estimate puts the figures to around 13 aeroplanes, which the Pakistani Air Force has lost. So that's my take.
Okay. I would like to go back to our correspondent, Vishal Barrister, who's joining us live. Vishal, you were there. You were, like I was also mentioning about it to our viewers, that you were thoroughly covering Operation Sindoor. What was the ground situation that time when you were there?
Well, Siddharth, the ground situation was quite tense, to be very honest, because India had made it very clear that we are not going to attack the military installations, and we have not attacked their military installations. And also, we have not targeted the civilian areas of Pakistan, but Pakistan kept attacking our civil areas. And also, and I was there, Badami Bagh, which is the BB camp, which is the largest camp in Srinagar, and also Sharifabad camp. They were both under attack from Pakistan, and their Air Force went all out. But as you heard from our Air Chief, that S-400 has been very, very successful in this operation, and this has been the largest kill ever recorded. Now, this has come as a huge relief for all of us, but that time it was very tense, and it was, India did not go all out, but Pakistan took it very seriously, and it was a very heavy attack. Let me tell you, I still remember the night where from Jammu to Kashmir, we had blackouts all over, and their platforms were attacking. It was the aerial attack, the drones, and also their aircraft. So it was definitely a very, very critical moment for everybody, including me and the families that were attached to us.
Right. You said that right. Okay, hold on, Vishal. Sir, I would like to ask you that S-400 is something which is being widely praised. And in fact, Air Force Chief also mentioned it and lavished praise on S-400 missile system. Can you tell us what exactly S-400 is and how it is different from the other missile systems? What makes it different?
It's state-of-the-art air defense equipment which India purchased from the Russian Federation. And a large credit for it goes to late Dr. Manohar Parrikar, who was the Raksha Mantri at that time. He insisted in early 2000s to have this on the paper. Then the discussion went on, the negotiation went on. Then finally, around 2016 to 2018 is around the period when these S-400 started to come to India. If I recall, we had purchased this for about 35 to 36,000 crore rupees at that time for 5 different things. It's a for the benefit of your viewers, it is a independent system which is on tracks. So it has a tracking device. It's a radar that is mobile. It has a searcher which takes the feed from the radar and homes on. And third is the missile system, so which engages the target. So it can engage targets at a distance of about 400 kilometers. It can go up to the height of 30 kilometers above. So that is the range at which this platform can detect. And it is not S-400. It is the integration of S-400 with our own air defense system. So we had army guns, we had naval guns, we had Air Force guns, we had Air Force surface-to-air weapon systems, we had Akash, the Army Air Defense System, we had the Air Force IACCS. So the integration of S-400 with this equipment, which our own engineers and our own scientists did, our own Bell and other institutions did, to integrate this is what is the game-changing aspect. So what happened is that our own sensors and our own radars integrated with S-400 could easily pick up the Pakistani targets, and on command these were engaged. And that is how, it's simply put for your viewers, it's like a game of rugby. You have defenders at the back. who do not allow you to score.
Okay.
And this is what the role of S-400 was there.
Okay.
It was behind all our frontline air defenses, so that just in case if anything comes to the rear, this would be able to save the country.
Very well put, sir. Very well put. Some made in India weapons are being widely praised now, and everyone knows in the entire world how they have helped in Operation Sindoor. We are becoming from importers to exporters. How do you react to that?
See, the whole world has now stood up and acknowledged that India has arrived.
Yeah, yeah.
See, if you see the narrative immediately after Operation Sindoor was anti-India across the world on all the international platforms, and they were, in sync with what Pakistani media or their handles were saying. The primary reason, in my appreciation, is that the West cannot see that Indian manufactured weapons or Russian manufactured weapons have taken out primarily the Western defense equipment. So this happened in 2019 when Abhinandan shot down an F-16 from a MiG-21. So India gave all the proof, India gave all the evidence, but neither the Pakistanis or the Americans acknowledged that, because nobody would acknowledge that a frontline fighter aeroplane was taken out.
Yeah.
And now, for your viewers, the whole world after Operation Sindoor has been after India to say how many aircrafts have they lost. But now, with Air Chief coming out today and giving a figure, on rostrum,
Made everything clear.
Yes, to put to rest
Yeah.
the questions which are being asked by the media to our forces or to our leadership as to how it does not matter. But in the end, just to prove a point that Indian, like we just asked,
Yeah.
the Indian manufactured, air defense equipment,
Yeah.
the Indian manufactured Akash and BrahMos missiles
Yes.
have created havoc in the enemy's air defense system, and that is more important.
Correctly, very well put, sir. Again, and Vishal, barrister, our correspondent, will also will also shed some light on false narratives of Pakistan. Vishal, not just this, but there are many of them. The
Yes,
list
yes.
just goes on.
Yes, in fact, let me tell you, Siddharth, that the warfare tactics have changed. So narrative is also part of the warfare, and we have to be very much ready for it. We know that it's being fought in the air, on air, and also on the surface. So the narrative is just one part of it, and they kept coming, and we had to work around the clocks. In fact, the Press Information Bureau had a very hard time, and also meticulously finding out the fake news. So it was also put on air, telling the people that what Pakistan has been, manufacturing from its war machinery is not all true. But just to add one more point about S-400, that it can take on 300 targets simultaneously, which makes it very, very crucial for our air defense. And also, it can be taken on a vehicle to any location. So that is why what happened during the days of, as Sir was telling us, during the days of Manohar Parrikar, when he was the Defence Minister of India, has been quite productive in this Operation Sindoor.
Definitely, Vishal. We leave it there. Thank you so much, Vishal. And sir, thank you so much for coming in on the broadcast. You've put everything very well and, made everything really, really simple for our viewers. Thank you so much, both of you gentlemen. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The annual defence production has soared to an all-time high figure of rupees 1,50,590 crore in the financial year 2024-25. The milestone represents a robust 18% growth over the previous fiscal's output of rupees 1.27 lakh crore. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has lauded the collective efforts of the Department of Defence Production and all stakeholders. He termed the upward trajectory as a clear indicator of India's strengthening defence industrial base. Defence public sector undertakings and other PSUs accounted for approximately 77% of total production, while the private sector contributed 23%. the share of the private sector, which increased from 21% in FY 2023-24 to 23% in FY 2024-25, reflects the sector's growing role in the defence ecosystem of the country. The overall production of DPSUs in private sector has increased by 16% and 28% respectively in FY 2024-25. This record-setting achievement underscores the growing momentum of the government's push to self-reliance in defence manufacturing under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. The emphasis to reduce the dependency on imports and create a defence industrial complex has shown positive results. Chairman of India's premier Defence Research and Development Organisation, Dr. Samir Kamath, attended the 14th convocation ceremony of the Defence Institute of Advanced Technology, Pune, as the chief guest. Addressing the media, Dr. Kamath said that India's defence exports have reached 23,000 crore rupees last year and it will double in the next 2 to 3 years.
मैं कहूँगा कि आगे अगर कंट्री को सॉवरेन रहना है तो हमको आत्मनिर्भरता पे पूरा जोर देना चाहिए। 2014 से इस गवर्नमेंट ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत और मेक इन इंडिया को बहुत सपोर्ट दिया है। इसलिए आज आपने रक्षा मंत्री जी का ट्वीट पढ़ा होगा। लास्ट ईयर 1,50,000 करोड़ का डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन कंट्री में हुआ है। ये दर्शाता है कि आगे हमारा देश पूरी तरह से आत्मनिर्भर होगा ये डिफेंस क्षेत्र। मैं कहूँगा कि आगे अगर कंट्री को सॉवरेन रहना है तो हमको आत्मनिर्भरता पे पूरा जोर देना चाहिए। 2014 से इस गवर्नमेंट ने आत्मनिर्भर भारत और मेक इन इंडिया को बहुत सपोर्ट दिया है। इसलिए आज आपने रक्षा मंत्री जी का ट्वीट पढ़ा होगा। लास्ट ईयर 1,50,000 करोड़ का डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन कंट्री में हुआ है। ये दर्शाता है कि आगे हमारा देश पूरी तरह से आत्मनिर्भर होगा ये डिफेंस क्षेत्र।
And still to come on DD India NewsHour. The Akal encounter, which began last week, is now being described as one of the longest anti-terror operations in Kashmir in recent years. Stay tuned to know more about it. Ferocious wildfires tearing across parts of Los Angeles.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. The Akal encounter, which began last week, is now being described as one of the longest anti-terror operations in Kashmir in recent years. Senior police and army officers are monitoring the situation round the clock. Intermittent and intense firefight continued through the night. Alert troops responded with calibrated fire and tightened the noose width while maintaining contact. One terrorist has been neutralized by the security forces so far. Massive combing and search operations have taken place. And DD India's Shabir Dar is joining us live from Srinagar. Hi Shabir, what is the latest on the operation that you have right now?
Yeah, as you rightly said, this operation is the longest operation in the recent history of Kashmir, insurgency. We have seen that since Friday, the operation is continuing and, the forces, including Army, CRPF and J&K police, are continuing, to ensure that the last terrorist is, eliminated as early as possible. As of now, the reports that we have is that the two soldiers laid their lives in the line of duty during this operation, because last night we saw the heavy, intermittent and heavy fighting coming from the terrorist side, and it was retaliated from our side, but this resulted in the injury of some 11 soldiers, and 2 of them succumbed to the injuries in the hospital. So 2 fatalities on our side, and the terrorists, 1 body has been recovered, but the sources tell us that 2 more bodies are lying in the rage of fire, and they are yet to be retrieved. So 1 terrorist body has been retrieved from the encounter site, 2 are lying there. So but the forces are taking every effort to ensure that the Akal fast encounter, which has taken a lot of time because of the operational challenges in the area. Akal is a dense forest having deep ridges and slopes. So, and that is why this operation is taking time. Nevertheless, the army is deploying unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, helicopters, thermal scanning devices, and other equipment is in operation to ensure that the terrorists who are hiding in the forest are pinpointed and neutralized. The top leadership of both Jammu and Kashmir police and army are themselves monitoring this operation, giving first-hand directions and motivating the troops to go ahead with this operation, because this is taking a lot of time. So we're expected to, we're given to understand rather that this operation will be culminated in, a day or 2, because some hardcore and high-profile terrorists are believed to be hiding in these Akal forests. So nevertheless, the troops are making every effort to ensure that the last terrorist is eliminated as early as possible.
Definitely. Thanks for all those updates. Thanks for analysis, Shabir. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there. Now it's time for weather updates from around the globe. First up from India. And Delhi wakes up to a rainy morning. Heavy rainfall lashed several parts of Delhi NCR today, bringing the national capital to a standstill on Raksha Bandhan. The Indian Meteorological Department has also issued a red alert for the entire of Delhi today. Moderate to heavy rainfall and thunderstorms have been forecast throughout the day, with the possibility of intense spells over east and central Delhi. Meanwhile, flight operations were also affected, with data from Flight Radar showing around 90 flights were delayed and 4 cancelled. The IGI airport issued an advisory on X cautioning passengers against traffic congestion in the city. As per the IMD forecast, Delhi is experiencing inclement weather conditions. However, operations are currently normal. An advisory by the IGI airport in Delhi stated. The India Meteorological Department on Friday has issued a fresh warning for Himachal Pradesh, predicting more rain in the coming days. The Chandigarh-Manali National Highway 21 has been closed again due to landslides in Mandi district, just days after it was reopened after a 40-hour closure. This disruption has stranded commuters and caused significant inconvenience. Heavy rainfall is expected to intensify in Himachal Pradesh from Sunday to Monday, prompting a yellow alert for several districts. And India's Ankush Sood joins us from Mandi. Ankush, what is the status of Chandigarh-Manali National Highway 21 now, as of now?
Siddharth, the National Highway 21 from Mandi to Thalod, the next 45 kilometers is in pathetic condition, but now at the moment it's open for the traffic.
Okay.
There was a huge traffic jam from last 24 hours. From Tuesday it was closed for 2 days. It opened yesterday, day before yesterday, and it was closed from yesterday 1 p.m. till 1 p.m. today. So for 24 hours, all the traffic was stranded. More than 500 vehicles were on both the sides, and tourists had a lot of trouble. Rather, they are having trouble from last 3-4 days. And this highway has, become a problem point for all the tourists, Siddharth.
Okay, Ankush, also I would like to ask you that what sort of problems are the commuters facing there? Now that you're saying that the bridge is open, the highway is open now, this is what you're saying. But still, is there any problem which the commuters are facing?
Yes, last night what happened was the commuters was blocked in a tunnel. From both the sides, the water was coming in, the muck was coming in, and there were people who were stuck in their vehicles inside the tunnels. Though they were rescued out by the administration, but they had a nightmare. Today, even after they opened this highway, it was opened one way. So it took around 4 to 5 hours to clear this congestion out.
Okay.
And making it a one-way traffic.
But
also,
now is the congestion clear? Ankush?
It's almost clear, and the worst part with this was that there's an alternate state highway road.
Okay.
Even that was closed.
Okay.
So it was total cutout for last 24 hours, Siddharth.
Okay, all right. Ankush, what all is the state government doing to make the situation normal now in the area?
See, Siddharth, this highway is a very typical, and this part, the next 45 kilometers from Mandi to Thalot, this was very tough terrain, and the companies, when built it out in last year, when they finished off the work, it was really tough. So it will take a lot of time, another 2-3 years for these stones, the shooting stones. It will take a lot of time to repair it out. The administration is on their toes. They're working very hard, but it's really a tough terrain, and you can't risk life of even JCB operators or the crane operators.
Correct.
To force them to work at such conditions. But it was a good luck that in last 24 hours, the rain was a little less, rather very less rains. So administration could clear out this road, and now the traffic has been reinstated.
Okay, and any advisory issued, Ankush?
See, the government of Himachal and administration has already issued advisory to the tourists to be very cautious, and to the locals also to travel only if it is very necessary, and avoid unnecessary journeys during this period. Till 20th of August, it's a high monsoon time in Himachal, and the road condition is really bad.
Okay. And okay, Ankush, and what about the weather prediction by the Met Department?
The Met Department has issued heavy to heavy rains in tomorrow, tomorrow, and on Monday.
Okay.
But it was, told you earlier also that it was a very good luck of this people,
Correct.
all the people, that rain was very less, and the administration could clear out the roads.
Okay. We'll keep taking updates from you, Ankush. Thank you so much. We leave it there as of now, and you also take care of yourself. Ferocious wildfires tearing across parts of the Los Angeles, Greece, Spain and France have forced thousands to flee, leaving a deadly trail of destruction in their wake. A wildfire killed at least one person and burned houses and farmland in central Greece as firefighters struggled to contain a series of blazes at the start of what is forecast to be several days of gale force winds. In fact, 11 planes, 12 helicopters and 170 firefighters were deployed around Keratia, 30 kilometers southwest of the capital. Worst wildfire since 1949 have scorched northwestern Spain, killing one woman who ignored evacuation orders. The blaze injured in fact 18 people, including 16 firefighters, destroyed 36 homes and forced the evacuation of 2,000 residents and tourists. In France, fire crews are also battling multiple wildfires as much of southern Europe grapples with extreme heat and drought conditions, scientists say, are intensified by climate change. And let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. The Chinese and Russian navies successfully conducted their joint military exercise titled Joint Sea 2025 in the waters and airspace near Vladivostok. The exercise was themed on jointly safeguarding strategic maritime routes and jointly countering security threats in the Western Pacific. After nearly 5 months on board the International Space Station, an international crew of 5 astronauts began their descent back down to Earth on a SpaceX capsule on Friday. Their return will mark the end of 10th crew rotation mission to the space station under NASA's Commercial Crew Program. Despite concerns about pollution, hundreds of people gathered in Nigeria to celebrate Osun Osogbo Festival on Friday. The festival, which honors the Yoruba river goddess Osun, includes traditional drumming, dancing and processions where devotees offer prayers and sacrifices at the river. Recent studies have indicated that Osun River is polluted with heavy metals and microplastic. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. Many anti-immigration protesters clashed with pro-migrant activists outside 2 London hotels housing asylum seekers as tensions over Britain's migrant policy continue to rise.
Extreme heat, unseasonal rains, floods, droughts. These aren't just isolated weather events anymore. So today, through all our stories, we ask, how do we adapt? And whatever we do, will it be enough as the weather becomes more extreme?
We managed to get the IMD, and what we can create a WhatsApp group. We can have these market leaders in this WhatsApp group, and we can send these, IMD can send these alerts, these weather alerts every day in this WhatsApp group.
We have concentrated mostly on disaster management framing to tackle the problems associated with heat.
It's necessary in this humid heat, and we know that the summers are getting more and more relentless. It's an interesting initiative.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. And many anti-immigration protesters clashed with pro-migrant activists outside 2 London hotels housing asylum seekers as tension over Britain's migrant policy continue to rise. Friday's demonstrations follows a wave of protests outside hotels housing migrants across the UK in recent weeks. Protests are expected to continue as the government struggles to balance border control with humanitarian obligations. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, under pressure from the surging reform, has vowed to smash the gangs behind people smuggling operations. More than 25,000 people have come to Britain on small boats so far in 2025, and Prime Minister has pledged to smash the gangs of people smugglers to try to reduce the number of arrivals. Japan marked the 80th anniversary of the Nagasaki atomic bombing on Saturday as the country's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba reaffirmed its commitment to a world without nuclear weapons. Representatives from 95 countries and territories, including nuclear superpower, the United States and Israel, which neither confirms or denies having nuclear weaponry, attended the annual ceremony for the milestone year. Russia, which possesses the world's largest nuclear stockpile, was also in attendance. Large parts of Nagasaki were leveled on August 9, 1945, when the United States dropped a 10,000-pound plutonium-239 bomb, nicknamed Fat Man, on the city, instantly cleaning approximately 27,000 of an estimated population of 200,000 people. Meanwhile, on Saturday, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy stated that Ukraine could not violate its constitution on territorial issues and said that Ukrainians will not give their land to occupiers. Commenting on Trump's upcoming meeting with Russia's Putin on August 15, Zelenskyy said Ukraine was ready for real solutions that could bring peace. However, he emphasized that any decisions made without Kyiv's involvement would be solutions against peace. Updates now on Russia-Ukraine conflict. US President Donald Trump will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin to negotiate an end of the conflict in Ukraine on August 15 in Alaska. At a press conference on Friday at the White House, Trump stated that there will be some exchange of territories for the mutual benefit of both the sides. The US and Russia were aiming to reach a deal to halt the conflict in Ukraine. Trump had threatened to impose new sanctions and tariffs against Moscow and countries that buy its exports unless Russia agreed to end the 3.5-year conflict. Earlier, Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff held 3 hours of talks with Putin in Moscow on August 6 that both sides described as constructive.
I'll be meeting very shortly with President Putin. It would have been sooner, but I guess there's security arrangements that unfortunately people have to make. Otherwise, I'd do it much quicker. He would too. He'd like to meet as soon as possible. I agree with it. But we'll be announcing that very shortly.
DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh joins us from Newsroom. Hi, Shubhendu. Now it's been decided that both Trump and Putin would be meeting in Alaska. Shubhendu, now how crucial this meeting will be and what all issues are likely to be discussed?
Hello, Siddharth. Yes, a very high-stakes meeting set to take place between President Donald Trump of the US and Russian President Vladimir Putin. This happens next coming Friday, that's August 15th in Alaska. Now, there's this one agenda, how to end this already dragging conflict between Russia and Ukraine. But there are a lot of factors associated with it. Now, the challenge is that the gulf, the trust deficit between Moscow and Kiev is so large that it will be interesting to see what kind of headway is being able to made when these two leaders meet. They've met earlier in 2019. The circumstances were entirely different then. Donald Trump, in the past 8 months of his new tenure, has tried everything with Russia, from reprimanding Zelenskyy to warming up to Russia to then apparently supporting Ukraine in a more open manner and threatening sanctions on Russia if it does not end the conflict. The deadline was yesterday, by the way, and nothing much has changed. So he's seen those extremes not working out, and now it may be time for real politic. Already in the language we can see of America talking about possible swapping of territories. It'll be interesting to see what that swap would entail. If we're talking about the conflict, the territories that Russia has so far captured of Ukraine, it's about 20% of the Ukrainian territory, part of the southern peninsula, Crimea, that was annexed earlier, and also the Donbas region in the east. That's about 1/5 of Ukraine under Russian control. Ukraine, at the moment, it did make some headway last year in 2024 in August, when it got parts of the Kursk region in Russia, but Russia has taken it back, most of it. So there's not much swapping that one can see if we look at the realities of the battlefield. And then we'll have to also see the manner in which this meeting, this negotiation will miss out on key players. The key adversary, Zelenskyy of Ukraine, is not going to be there on the table when the leaders talk. And also importantly, the NATO partners of Europe are not going to be present. So what these leaders are able to agree on, will those points be agreeable to other stakeholders of the conflict, will be something that one will have to watch out for.
Definitely, we'll have to wait and see what happens, Shubhendu, since you've just mentioned that Zelenskyy won't be there and NATO partners won't be there. As far as the current situation is concerned, Shubhendu, a solution might require Ukraine to surrender significant territory. You know, Trump also suggested that agreement would involve some exchange of land, but Zelenskyy has reacted. He clearly stated Ukraine won't cede land. Now, in this situation, can we expect any solution?
That's right, Siddharth. In fact, we should look at some of the statements that came out in the sharp response that Zelenskyy had posted earlier. He says war can't be ended without Ukraine. Talks are happening far away in Alaska. Symbolically also that from the principles of the conflict, it says Russia is doing evil. Russia started the war, it must end. So we see Ukrainian President Zelenskyy maintaining his earlier position, putting the entire responsibility of this conflict on Russia. So the maximalist position which has been making it so difficult for Russia and Ukraine to come to a negotiating table, come to some sort of an understanding or a compromise, that sort of status quo appears to be maintained still. And that what it appears is going to make the talks between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin complicated. And remember, a conflict that is in its fourth year now, may not be possible to be ended in just a meeting. This could be, if it shows some positive signs, it could be first of the many meetings that Trump and Putin could have. We're learning from our sources that possibly US President Trump could meet next Vladimir Putin in Russia. So we'll have to see what is the direction that these leaders take and to what extent will that be acceptable to Ukraine and the European partner. But for now, it does appear that things are moving on predictable lines, and what Trump and Putin agree or discuss will have to be checked and be verified by Zelenskyy and, of course, the NATO partners.
Definitely, Shubhendu. We'll have to wait and see what will come out of the meeting between the two leaders that will take place in Alaska, and what will happen after that. But the thing is that war has to stop, this conflict has to stop, and how soon it will stop, it remains to be seen. Thank you so much. We'll leave it there, Shubhendu. The sacred thread of love, protection and shared memories, Raksha Bandhan 2025 is being celebrated across the country today with traditional fervour and emotional warmth. President of India, Draupadi Murmu, extended her greetings to all fellow citizens living in India and abroad on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan. On this occasion, the President appealed to the school children to plant trees on Raksha Bandhan. At a ceremony organized at Rashtrapati Bhavan, the President said that Raksha Bandhan is a festival of love and care, and today is the time to take a pledge to protect the environment and save Mother Earth by planting trees.
आज हम लोगों को सुरक्षा देने वाला सबसे बड़ा चीज है पेड़ पौधा। पेड़ पौधा हमको सुरक्षा देते हैं, हमको ऊर्जा देते हैं, जिंदगी देते हैं। जिंदगी जीने का ये एक बहुत बड़ा सोर्स है। पेड़ पौधा को भी रक्षा बांधने की जरूरत है। अभी जैसे प्रकृति का परिवर्तन हो रहा है, इसके लिए हम लोगों को इसी दिशा में काम करना होगा और पेड़ पौधा को भी हम रक्षा बांधेंगे। ये केवल मनुष्यों क्या सुरक्षा के नहीं, जितने पशु पक्षी जितने भी जीव जंतु उसके साथ साथ ये प्लानेट का रक्षा करेंगे। ये पृथ्वी का रक्षा करने के लिए हमको आगे जाना होगा।
DD India correspondent Vishal Beristo spoke to school children who were present at the Rashtrapati Bhavan for the Raksha Bandhan event, and they were quite inspired by what the President told them. Let's listen in.
650 school children from 17 states are here at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Today is Raksha Bandhan. They have met the President. The President has spoken to them, and President has also asked them to do a job. So how does it feel?
I'm so happy. I feel so happy and proud to stand in here.
President has also asked you to plant a tree or a sapling. So what do you have to say?
I said I will plant a tree, definitely.
What do you have to say about the President's promise from you?
When I go to our island, I should plant a tree.
How's the feeling you've met the President?
Sir, I feel very proud and very happy because I got to meet the President of India.
So there you hear all these children. They are fortunate enough to have met the President and also learn from the President that we need to save our culture, we need to save the nature, and we need to save the planet Earth. With cameraman Piyush in Delhi, this is Vishal Beristo for DD India, Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Here are the highlights from a very special Raksha Bandhan celebration at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, PM Modi's official residence in Delhi. PM was visibly happy spending time with the young kids and celebrating Rakhi.
अच्छा ओहो हाथ मिलाना है।
आप मेरा एक हाथ से देख लो, मेरा नाम यहाँ पे है।
सबसे ऊपर तुम्हारा होना चाहिए। शाबाश। आप सबको रक्षाबंधन की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
आज मिला देश के नेता से सम्मान, रक्षा का धागा, विश्वास की डोर, दिल से निकलता है बस एक ही शोर, जय हिंद।
आपके जैसे प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना चाहते हैं।
अच्छा, प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना है।
मातृभूमि करती अभिनंदन, भारत भाल के आप हो चंदन, नई सोच नई राह दिखाई, आशा की नव किरण जगाई, स्वच्छ भारत की ज्योति जलाई, जन आवाज से खुशहाली आई, मन की बात जन जन की आवाज, आप सपा के प्रधानमंत्री हुआ आज राष्ट्र को नाज।
उज्ज्वला का दीप जलाया, हर घर चूल्हा तब जल पाया, अटल पेंशन और जीवन ज्योति, हर नागरिक का भविष्य मोती, डिजिटल इंडिया और स्किल इंडिया से हर युवा को मिला आत्मबल,
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर से शौर्य दिखाया, दुश्मन को भारत का जौहर दिखलाया, मातृभूमि करती अभिनंदन, भारत भाल के आप हो चंदन, भारत भाल के आप हो चंदन। धन्यवाद।
ये सारी योजनाएं आपको याद है?
हाँ जी।
अरे वाह, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बधाई।
हम आभार से आए हैं, उन्नत मन गर्व से छाए है, जब भी कभी कोई संकट सामने आया, सिंदूर की तरह स्नेह लुटाया, आपने बेटियों को लौटाया उनका घर, अब ना कोई डर ना कोई सफर,
हमारे देश में एक है ऐसा कर्मयोगी जिसकी मिसाल कहीं नहीं होगी।
बहुत बड़ी राखी लाई हो। हाँ।
मैंने सुना आपके पास नंदी और गंगा है।
हाँ, तुम्हें मालूम है? शाबाश, ये बहुत बढ़िया किया।
उनकी राखी में मैंने उनकी नंदी जी की फोटो लगाई थी, तो वो खुद बड़े शौक से थे कि इन छोटे छोटे बच्चों को भी कैसे पता। ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैं अपने किसी बड़े से बात कर रही हूँ जिनको मैं बहुत टाइम से जानती हूँ।
मैं एक बच्चे को नहीं संभाल सकती, आप इतने बड़े दुनिया का संभाल लेते हो।
नहीं, आप लोग संभालते हैं।
आप हमारे वॉरियर सेवियर दोनों। मैंने पीएम से बोला, वो हमारे सबसे बड़े सेवियर वॉरियर हैं और मैं उनको बहुत पसंद करती हूँ। दुनिया की सबसे बेस्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर है। न्यूज़ हेडलाइंस। The Delhi government has opened 33 आयुष्मान आरोग्य मंदिर to improve healthcare. बुंदेले हर बोलो के मुंह हमने सुनी कहानी थी, खूब लड़ी मर्दानी है तो झांसी वाली रानी थी।
रानी बन के आई हो।
मैं जब छोटी थी तो मेरी विश यही थी कि मुझे एक बार पीएम से मिलना है और आज मेरी विश पूरी हो।
India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal also celebrated Raksha Bandhan with future of the country, young school children and NCC cadets. At the Davki border in Meghalaya, this Raksha Bandhan carried a deeper meaning. Local women and young girls tied rakis on the wrists of BSF soldiers, filling the air with warmth and patriotism. Sisters and daughters from nearby villages arrived with beautifully decorated puja thalis, offering prayers for the soldiers' safety and long life. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in Bengaluru on Sunday to flag off the Bengaluru-Belagavi Vande Bharat Express and inaugurate the Yellow Line Metro to Electronic City, marking a major boost to Karnataka's rail and metro connectivity. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya with this report.
Bengaluru is set for a double boost in connectivity this Sunday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in the city to flag off Karnataka's 11th Vande Bharat Express, connecting Bengaluru and Belagavi. The high-speed service will slash travel time, bringing comfort and reliability to passengers commuting between North Karnataka and the state capital.
कर्नाटका में जो बिजनेस सेंटर्स हैं और जो कल्चरल सेंटर्स हैं और टूरिस्ट, वो इतना ज़्यादा पोटेंशियल है जो अनटैप्ड था। वो वंदे भारत एक ऐसा इंस्ट्रूमेंट बना है कि जो इन तीनों तरह के टूरिज्म, बिजनेस और नॉर्मल पीपल टू पीपल कांटेक्ट, इनको बढ़ावा देने में बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले करेगा।
Prime Minister will also board the new Yellow Line Metro to Electronic City. Built at a cost of 7,610 crore rupees, the 19.15-kilometer corridor links central Bengaluru to the city's southern industrial hub through 16 stations, including Silk Board Junction. The Yellow Line is expected to ease congestion, cut travel time and boost public transport usage, connecting Bengaluru's homes with its IT and biotech heartlands.
This is a very big event where Honorable PM will inaugurate this line. This is about 19-kilometer long section. We are having 16 stations on it, and it is passing through the electronic city, and very big IT sector industries are there in this corridor, and we are very much hopeful that it will help people to commute, and this will be a very good addition to the Bengaluru infrastructure.
With this, Namma Metro's network will stretch to 96 kilometers, cementing its place as India's second largest metro system after Delhi. It is a Sunday of speed, connectivity and transformation for Karnataka.
With faster train and a new metro line, Karnataka takes a big leap in connectivity and commuter comfort. A transformative day indeed for Bengaluru's transport network. With camera person Kashyap and Monty Singh, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Bangalore.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. Time now for sport. And Barcelona reinstated goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen as captain after resolving a dispute over his fitness. The club had stripped ter Stegen of captaincy over a fitness row after he underwent back surgery at the end of July. The 33-year-old had allegedly refused to cooperate and release his medical details. As a result, the club could not get him classified as a long-term injury, which would allow Barcelona to deduct part of his pay. Now Barcelona said that player had signed the necessary paperwork. Meanwhile, Barcelona manager Hansi Flick and his assistant Marcus Sorg have been fined €20,000 each and banned for one match in UEFA club competitions for misconduct. Flick had been furious at several referees' decisions in his side's 4-3 semi-final loss to Inter Milan in May. The sanctions will take immediate effect, ruling both men out of the dugout for the start of this season's Champions League. Manchester United have opened the doors to their redeveloped men's team building at the Carrington Training Complex a week before the start of Premier League season. The state-of-the-art training hub opened just as manager Ruben Amorim and his squad returned from their pre-season tour of the United States. Most of the team's executive leadership have moved into the building, which features upgraded equipment and technology with a focus on nutrition, recovery and team unity. Redevelopment of the men's team building follows the reconstruction of building for the women's first team and men's academy in 2024. As the Chennai Grandmasters tournament unfolds, it continues to captivate chess lovers across the city. Students from the T Nagar Chess Academy in Chennai had the unique opportunity to witness top-level play and share their excitement with DD India.
This opportunity, such as the Chennai Grandmaster, has been one of the most beautiful opportunities for me. It has shown me the Grandmasters, and I have seen them in person and in screens, and then I have got a chance to visit them. My favorite Grandmaster is Pragnananda.
So I really like this opportunity to come and meet these Grandmasters and see their moves, which help us a lot in finding out all the gambits and trickmates. I hope they conduct more events like this again. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chilean. I am studying in T Nagar Chess Academy for 3.5 years. I like this type of events where I can meet grandmasters and see their tactics and moves. So I appreciate them that they can conduct this again and we can come again.
On 83rd anniversary of the Quit India movement, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on X platform wrote, and I quote, "We remember with deep gratitude all those brave people who, under the inspiring leadership of Bapu, took part in the Quit India movement. Their courage lit a spark of patriotism that united countless people in the quest for freedom." Unquote. That's all for this edition of DD India NewsHour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India NewsHour.